Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome back to the Bailey Family Business Channel. Recently, our family took a little bit of a vacation. I felt like I needed a little bit of a change of scenery, so we booked a last minute cruise, our first ever cruise, and we left out of Port Canaveral, but we live in Alabama, so we ended up driving. I think it was like an 11-hour drive or something. We ended up driving down to Orlando first, and we spent a day at SeaWorld. And then from there, we drove down to the coast, and we were leaving out of Port Canaveral. So we found a little beach along the coast, and we spent a little bit of time there before jumping on our ship. We took a little bit of a trip, just a 3-night cruise on Disney's newest ship, the Disney Wish. And I just wanted to share a little bit of our trip with you guys today. So here we go. So this is a little bit of our footage from SeaWorld. While we were at SeaWorld, we did not do any of the rides. You know, we've done a lot of rides at Disney World. This was our first time at SeaWorld, and we honestly just wanted to watch the shows and maybe, you know, get up close with a few of the animals. So we didn't have a ton of time. We didn't want to spend all day there and then wear ourselves out before the cruise. So we saw the orca show. We saw the dolphin show. We visited the tank that had the stingrays in it, and Lucy and I were proud of ourselves. We were brave, and we both petted the stingrays, which was not at all something we figured we would do. Besides that, we also we paid a little bit extra, and we did the up close encounter with the dolphins. So we all got to pet the dolphin, all of us except Lily. Lily was a little bit nervous about it, but me and Steve and Lucy all pet the dolphin. And let's see, did we do anything else? Oh, the girls both got face paint, and that turned out really cute. And honestly, that's about it. I mean, I think we spent some time looking at a couple other tanks. They checked out like flamingos and, you know, the dolphin nursery. We really wanted to see the penguins, but we were so tired and hot that we just decided to leave. So we're going to have to go back to SeaWorld another time and check out the things that we missed. So that was our quick trip to SeaWorld. And then from there, we jumped in the car and drove, you know, the hour or whatever it is to get to Port Canaveral. We ended up staying at a Radisson. I think it was called Radisson at the Port or something. It was a really nice hotel, and we just stayed there for the night before our cruise. We wanted to be really close to the port so that we wouldn't, you know, worry about missing the cruise or anything. So we stayed overnight there, and Lucy had this idea. It was like 8 o'clock at night, super dark, getting cold. And Lucy really wanted to go swimming. So we went swimming, and I thought it was so weird to do it. I was like really not wanting to, but it ended up being really fun. Even though it was dark and it was a little bit cold, you know, we had a lot of fun swimming in the dark and swimming under the moonlight. So we did that the night before the cruise. And then when we woke up in the morning, we went, you know, like because I booked our cruise so late, we weren't able to book one of the earlier times to get on the ship. So I think our boarding, or our port arrival, they call it, our port arrival time was like 1 p.m. or something. So we had to be out of our hotel at 11. So then what we did is we just drove to an IHOP that was nearby, and we had breakfast. And then afterward, we were just kind of driving, just trying to waste time. And all of a sudden, we drove past this beach access. So, you know, like I told Steve, like, let's stop and see what it looks like. You know, like, what does it look like here? So we pulled over, and there was some other people that were like getting out and doing this beach access too. And it ended up being like the neatest little beach, like hardly anybody there. So I'll show some footage of that beach now. We got to Port Canaveral early, so we came down to Cocoa Beach, and we're just out here on this like public access, and it's like really great out here. There's hardly anybody here today. It's like a Friday morning, so pretty cool. I'll have to kind of show on the map where it is. There's like nobody out here hardly. So the girls came out. We've got about an hour before we're supposed to be at the port to get on our cruise. So we came out here to just play for like an hour. So it's almost like we get a bonus beach day today. So pretty neat. Pretty good find here. So as you can see, like, awesome beach. So I highly recommend, if you have any extra time to spare before getting on a cruise at Port Canaveral, to stop by that beach. Here's a map of where we found that beach. So after we were at the beach, then we drove to the port. It only took us about, I think, 20 to 30 minutes to get to the port from that beach. And then when we got to the port, we did end up being a little bit late for our port arrival time. I think we got there at 1:15 or something like that. And I don't know if you've taken a Disney cruise before, but it was so seamless getting on the cruise. Like, you know, it was like we just walked right on. You know, like you had to keep showing like your QR code and your passport and all this stuff. But, you know, like there was a ton of different lines, but there was no wait at any of them. So we felt like we were just walking. And then eventually we were on the ship. So here's a little bit of footage of our room. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
You are on the Wish.
The Disney Wish.
So what's your initial impression?
Everything is really nice. The room was really cool. Lots of neat things in it. The ship is almost brand new. It's like less than a year old, I think. And so everything looks really great.
Yeah, it does look good. You know, like the room is a little bit, well, I mean, of course the room is kind of petite, but it actually feels like fine. There's lots of storage. Like Steve said, it's all really new and nice. So yeah, we're excited to be on the ship.
Yeah.
So we didn't book like the fancy room or anything. We booked just an ocean view room. I don't remember what they call it. So it was great for us. You know, like this was a short cruise and we felt like we had everything we needed in our room. There was a pull down bunk bed that Lucy loved. And yeah, so I mean, it worked. There was enough room for all of us. If I had a longer cruise, it would definitely be nice to have maybe a little bit more room, but I don't really know if you get much extra room in the actual, you know, stateroom. It seems like the next step up is just to have the veranda. And I thought with having a toddler, I didn't really want a veranda anyway, because I wouldn't really trust her very much to be out there, you know, like on a balcony or whatever. So the ocean view was fine for us. I guess the only thing is like we did get a little bit motion sick on the cruise. We all ended up needing to take a little, like a small dose of Dramamine. So I guess it would be nice, like if you did get some motion sickness, if you had a veranda to like open up your door and be able to get some fresh air. So then on our cruise, we had one day at sea, and then our second full day, we were at Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. And while we were at Castaway Cay, the girls mostly just played on the beach. They, I guess they also played dolls in the ocean. They played dolls in the ocean, and then they built like sand castles and stuff and looked at seashells on the beach. Steve got to go snorkeling. So I ran the Castaway Cay 5K, which is just like a self-timed 5K around the island. And here's just a little bit of footage of that. So I'm actually going to do like a whole video on the Castaway Cay 5K because I wanted to, there was a couple things that I didn't know about the run before I did it. So I just wanted to give a couple tips for anybody who might be thinking about doing that themselves. So I'll make a separate video about that. But, you know, like I mentioned, I guess while we were at the island, we also ate, you know, like people talk about, it's called cookies. There's like cookies and cookies too that are the food options on Castaway Cay. And I'm sorry, Disney. I know that people say it's good food, but we did not like the food on Castaway Cay. Like nobody in my family liked the food. It was all like not hot, and it was all just like, it felt like it was like leftovers. And nothing was was memorable. Honestly, like the best thing that I had was like a slushie that I got at this frozen themed little kiosk at the end of my 5K. Like I got a slushie that was called like worth melting for or something like that. And it was like, I was so thirsty and it was just delicious. It was like pineapple and coconut and stuff like that. So highly recommended that. I also really enjoyed the ice cream station. Like you can make your own soft serve ice cream cones. And then there was like a fresh fruit stand, and the fresh fruit stand, like the fruit wasn't very fresh. Like a lot of it felt kind of underripe, but there was a really good cantaloupe. So we liked the cantaloupe. But yeah, so we ate there. And then, I'm going to include some footage here of after we left the island and Steve talking about his snorkeling. Hello, here we are again.
Hi.
So we just got done at Castaway Cay. We're back in our room. What did you think, Steve?
It was pretty great. It's a really beautiful beach, and lots of nice sand to play in, and the water was nice and warm, and I got to do some snorkeling and had some food and all kinds of fun stuff.
You found Prince Eric?
Yeah, the statue of Prince Eric that fell off of the ship.
Was it creepy?
Not too creepy.
Oh, okay. It looks creepy in the other vlogs that I've seen. I ran the Castaway Cay 5K and played with the girls in the sand, had 2 ice cream cones, because you have to.
Right.
And I had a fun time eating my ice cream cone.
Yeah. Lily had an ice cream cone and it was melted everywhere. She was
Right.
a mess.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really good time. So no complaints. Now we're just trying to get cleaned up, get ready for nap time.
Yep, one more night on the big ship.
Yep. So again, that was our Castaway Cay day. And, I guess another interesting thing is like Disney has like a rotational dining. So you get to dine at these different places on the ship. So there's 3 restaurants and we dined at all 3 of them. So one of them was Arendelle, and that was a Frozen 3 themed restaurant. And I didn't get a lot of footage there, but it was great. There was somebody on violin and somebody was playing like a little guitar. And then there was a singer and they were phenomenal. And then there was an Anna and Elsa and a Kristoff and Oaken, all really great. They all stopped at our table and were super personable and just really great. Anna was showing me her engagement ring, and Elsa was like so excited about the glitter in Lucy's hair. Like it was really fun. So that was Arendelle. And then the second night we were there, we ate at a restaurant called 1923, which is like a fancier restaurant that's like about Disney's history. And that night, like the girls were both just real tired. So we actually sent them to the Disney like childcare type thing during that dinner. So Lily went to the nursery because the nursery is for kids that are under 3. And then Lucy ended up going to the kids club. And then Steve and I got to have a date, which is like the first date we've been on in a long time. So it was really nice to be able to just sit down and talk to him without like having a lot of need to entertain the kids. So we did that on the second night. And then the third night we had the Avenger. No, what was it? I can't remember what it was called. The third night we had the like the superhero theme, the Avenger themed restaurant. And that one was like not my favorite. I'm not into superheroes. And the food, like I had a really good, I should say like the desserts were really good. And I had a chicken that was really good, but everything else I had there was strange. Like I ordered this heart of palm salad because I normally love heart of palm, and it was so weird tasting. So I wasn't a huge fan of that restaurant. But yeah, so we did that each night, and then each night they had shows. So yeah, the shows were really great. Lucy especially really loved the shows. And yeah, so that was it. So like I mentioned, we all got a little bit of motion sickness. So it wasn't anything that was unbearable. And I was fine with just a half dosage of Dramamine. And then like Lucy and Steve ended up needing some too. on a couple nights when there was higher waves. And, you know, interestingly, there was a couple storm systems in the Bahamas the days that we were sailing. And, you know, like right now, after the trip, like Florida's currently preparing for like a hurricane again. So it makes sense that there was some choppier waves when we were in the boat. But anyway, so it was a really positive experience. We all were sad to leave the ship and, you know, would like to sail again sometime. So we'll see if that's in our future. And so here's a couple more photos I'll share of our trip. And then with that, that's about it. Our quick little vacation to Florida to see SeaWorld, and then to stop at a beach for just a little bit, and then to take our first cruise, which was on Disney's Wish, their newest ship in their fleet. So thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again later.
Subscribe for more videos.